Greetings, my friend. Foreclosure is hot right now, and right now foreclosure is 41% up across the United States. Guys, we're currently living in times that this could happen to the best of us. So if this is you, don't feel bad. I mean, you could have the six-figure job, you could have, a really good income, but at the end of the day, this happens to every class. And if this is you, you're going to want to kind of tune in a little bit and listen up to see what to look for in a foreclosure process. What are the steps of a foreclosure? And time frame, right? Time frame is really crucial. Like, how much time do you have, and what are some of those solutions, folks? So foreclosure, really starts the day you miss the payment, right? So it's called a pre foreclosure, where if you miss your first payment, that's really when it starts, because the lender is going to start their process of like sending you a notice of default on your payment. And folks, I really want to emphasize that if this happens to you, do not wait to call your bank. You can make a solution happen right now. In fact, I personally witnessed this from clients. I even went through this on a personal level. And I can tell you for a fact that if you were to really just reach out to your bank and make an arrangement, first of all, you're going to avoid late payment on your credit history. And second, you're going to avoid some penalty fees, right? Or some accrued of interest. So guys, be very proactive about this. Do not be shameful. Call your bank and try to negotiate. But however, if you're default your second month, your bank is going to still send your notice again. And typically by the 90-day, that's where they're going to start their legal process, where the attorneys get involved, right? And they will file a contempt in court to pretty much, absorb their rights to basically sue you to get their property back and get it sold. You really don't want to get to that point, because now at that point, the bank is going to charge you. The bank is going to charge you all the legal fees, right? So it's going to get mounted into your mortgage. You're not going to be happy when you see all these fees. And honestly, you could have avoided all of this. You could have really avoided this if you just make that call before getting to that point. But if you're unfortunately at that point where now you're in a foreclosure process, then I highly recommend that, you negotiate something with the lender where you could actually, put your payments towards the back of the loan, where they're not non-accruing interest. And basically, at the end of the loan, you got to make sure you take care of that balloon. But let's hope that you don't get there, right? Now, in the event, right, that you are not able to settle with the lender, or the lender just not really willing to work with you, which is rare. The only time that I've seen that they're not willing to work with you is when when you really never even try to work with them in the first place. So you don't really want to get to that point. Now, if in the event your home gets sold at the auction, and I'm going to speak for Florida law, you have a right of redemption, which means is if the house goes into a foreclosure, it gets sold at the auction, you have 11 days to contest to that sale, where you can vacate the sale. You have to have valid ground. I suggest you get an attorney. And really, at this point, it's costing you more money. You could avoid all this headache. But if you are at this point, guys, keep in mind, you're going to want to basically, get yourself an attorney, redeem your property, pay the fees. And yeah, you can get your property back, even if it's sold at the auction, but you only have 10 days. Keep that in mind. Florida, the right of redemption for foreclosure. Keep that in mind. Not tax deed, not tax lien, none of that. We're talking about foreclosure, my friend. So in the event that it doesn't get sold at the auction, basically it becomes a bank-owned property, for which at that point, the bank will hire an agent to get the property sold for top dollar as much as they can to recoup their losses. So guys, keep that in mind. The foreclosure process, 90 days to 6 months, you're pretty much out of the house. There are ways to, go around this, even stop a sale. I'm not an attorney, but I just giving a free, advice from personal experiences. And that is, you could file a bankruptcy And in the event that you were to file a bankruptcy, which then you can negotiate some terms to keep the property or not, but the minute you file the bankruptcy, even if you have a foreclosure date scheduled, the cool thing is that you can stop that foreclosure until that bankruptcy is settled, which gives you a couple of more months in the property or so. But make sure you consult with an attorney or check your laws in your state. But the reality is, folks, all of us could go at some point through a foreclosure process. Don't feel ashamed. I highly advise that you call either a real estate agent with experience in foreclosure or an attorney, so that way they can help you and put the people in place that you need in order to salvage your property, or at least gives you enough time to get to your next chapter. There's ways that guys could, you could avoid a foreclosure, you could avoid getting your credit hurt. And I think the best route would be is first call your lender. That's the first person you want to call. You want to negotiate before it gets to your day 90, your day 120. And in the event you get to that 100-day 20, you can't pay for your home, guys, find somebody, do a short sale, do something that could help you avoid hurting your credit further. Because in the future, again, you're going to rebound and you're going to want to get a house again. And you don't want to have to go through all these up and downs, guys. So hopefully I cover as much as possible for you to understand what exactly a foreclosure looks like and help you avoid it, guys. Don't wait till the last minute. I hope this enlightened you. And if it did, please drop your comments. If you have any questions, I would love to do another video around the questions that people have. Thank you. Have a great day. And I look forward to hearing from you.